Hey everybody, I just wanted to make a quick update video here to go over a few things without any sort of distractions in the background. So enjoy this still image while I talk or just listen. So I just want to go over a couple things, namely what's been happening right now and what's going to happen in the future largely. So right now, if you've been paying attention, I haven't really stuck to my schedule necessarily that I proposed. In some respects, streaming-wise, I've been kind of keeping to it a little bit better, but in terms of uploading videos to YouTube, it has not been as frequent as I would like. So there's a couple changes I'm going to make for various reasons. So first of all, the TF2 videos I was saying, like I'm planning to release all this demo man shit, and I almost have it done, but there is a hang-up. Basically, oh my god, like people are just annoying. I've had to deal with so much bullshit. And I'm still kind of looking for a job because of dealing with this bullshit. You know, the short form is that my parents don't like that I quit grad school. They don't understand why I did it, even though I explained to them very clearly whenever they ask why I chose to do it. Basically that I did not do it anymore. I didn't like the career prospects, blah, blah, blah. Plenty of good reasons. And they're basically just like, oh, blah, 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 blah. And it's just very annoying. And, you know, I tell them, like, yo, I'm making videos for YouTube and blah, blah, blah. I'm not even, like, saying, like, I'm going to make a shit ton of money off this right now or anything. But all I'm saying is that, like, I want to try and branch out and try a bunch of new stuff. I'm kind of self-teaching myself to draw right now. And if I end up really liking it, I'll probably take some courses or something. I'm also doing a lot of writing. I'm trying to get better at analytical writing because I would like to maybe review games or something, but I would like to just branch out more, and my parents just don't understand that, and so it's been very stressful, constantly arguing with them every single week over the same bullshit, blah blah blah, and it's just been very annoying, and my mom keeps like pestering me about stupid shit, so I haven't like nailed down a job yet because I'm trying to be considerate and listen to her, which is honestly a flaw of mine, is that I think too highly of other people's opinions, which is stupid, because after all the stupid people I've talked to, I should realize I should not give value to somebody's opinion until they can prove it has value, but I'm a fucking idiot, and I like to expect the best out of people. Which is why that's why I get so mad in like TF2 and stuff when people are bad, because some of the stuff people do is honestly indicative of them not thinking at all, and it boggles my brain that you can play a video game that basically requires a large portion of your attention, most of your attention, and yet you apply none of your thought processes to doing it. It's very strange. It's like having an app on your computer that just sits there and doesn't do anything. It's like you take up half of your RAM with a program, it just loads it all into memory, and then it doesn't do anything. It's like you don't actually run the fucking program, it just sits there and slows down everything else, and it's very strange. But anyway, back to the thing at hand. So now I think I have things resolved, largely, and I'm going to basically nail down a job in the next few weeks and actually commit to something. And when that happens, I'm going to actually get on the schedule, and I'll be modifying what I'm doing for YouTube right now. So with regards to like the Let's Play thing, those sorts of videos like Deus Ex, like I'm doing right now, I'm going to finish it, at least Deus Ex, but after that I'm probably not going to make any more, largely because I find those sorts of videos they're saturated, so they don't get new viewers unless you're really popular, like, you know, Markiplier or something. Those will get you new viewers. Game Grumps, those will get you new viewers. But if you're not really popular, almost any game you play has a lot of people doing the same thing. And I'm not a big channel by any means, so you get overshadowed really easily, and you barely get any notice. And, you know, so making those videos, I mean, it's for those of you who like to watch them, I'm really grateful that you like to watch them. But I'm largely going to just cut them out after I finish Deus Ex, because it takes like... It's kind of annoying because it puts me on a schedule for games that I want to play. Like, I want to play those games anyway, and it kind of puts me on a schedule, and I have to limit myself and blah, 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 and do whatever. Like, there's many times where it's like, I want to play Deus Ex, but I don't really want to record because I'm not, like, in a really good mood. I don't want to, like, talk and try and be interesting or entertaining or anything like that. So I just, like, don't play it then. So that's kind of annoying, because there are often times where I play games because I don't feel good. It's kind of like, I won't say it's a coping mechanism, but it's like, you know, if you feel bad about something, it's nice to distract yourself. I mean, maybe not necessarily the healthiest thing in the entire world, but at least, you know, it's better than, I mean, never mind. It's just, I don't know what I'm talking about. It's a perfectly fine way to do things. Like, you know, you distract yourself with something, especially if it's a problem that there's really nothing you could do to resolve. If it's a problem that you can actually resolve yourself, you should, you know, resolve it. But if it's just like, oh shit, I'm sick, right? That's like, you know, playing a video game to be like, oh, I'm sick, I don't really want to do anything, I guess I'll just play a video game. It's a good way to deal with things, I think. But anyway, those longer form videos aren't going to happen for a while. I might bring them back when I have more people, because kind of what I'm realizing is that those videos don't really work until people like you. Once people like your content, they'll watch a lot of shit from you, because they like it, right? I think I finally maybe come to a little bit of terms that for a lot of things, people don't understand why they like it. And so all they have to do is, like, once their switch is flipped and their brain is like, oh, I like this, they just like it. I find this happens a lot with people. There's a lot of, like, specifically I'm thinking about, you know, how people always kind of get pissed when I talk about my team sucks in TF2 or something, which they do a lot of times. But I usually keep it to myself, and I'm just more annoyed that why am I getting paired with people who have never touched the game when I'm, like, so ridiculously better than them that it's not even fun for either of us. It's not fun for them to get just obliterated every time they spawn and they can't do anything. It's not fun for me to just, you know, instantly kill people either, really. I'd like to have a little bit of a challenge, and so it's just annoying, right? But there's a lot of people, there's like even popular streamers who are super, super negative, way more negative than me. They actually like go on the voice chat and criticize people and say, you're a fucking idiot, blah, 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 you're throwing, blah, blah, blah. And people like that. I don't know why. It's very strange. But I think I've come to terms that it's just once people like you, they'll let you get away with anything, basically. I feel like that's sort of what happened with Trump with the election, but I'm not going to get into that too much. Is that, like, you know, once people like you can say a lot of dumb shit, and they'll just write it off. They'll be like, oh, he didn't really mean that. It's kind of this psychological process, actually, where when you do stuff, or when people you like do stuff that are, it's like bad or something, you attribute it to external sources. So like if you do something bad, you're like, oh, I was sick, or I didn't sleep well, right? Whereas when other people do stuff bad, you attribute it to like their character. So you'll say like, oh, he's a negative person, blah, blah, blah. I think that's kind of the issue, is once you get to like somebody, you start giving them more leeway with that. So like if you would ask those people like, oh, you know, if people get mad at me when I'm being negative about my team, it's because I'm a negative person, I complain, I'm a complainer, blah, blah, blah. Whereas if another person that they like says it, it's, oh, they actually like give them the benefit of the doubt and say, oh, they're actually like, oh, their team's bad and they have a right to get angry. And it's like, what the fuck? My team was bad too. Why don't I have a right to get angry? But whatever. I'm not going to go too much more into that. Psychology is a very interesting thing, and I actually know about a lot about psychology. I should probably use it more to market my channel, because there's all sorts of psychological stuff. But anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to really make those long form videos anymore. What I'm going to do is put them on hold for now, maybe come back with them. But what I'll probably do is maybe make just some shorter videos. Think like a 10-minute video. Like a new game comes out, I just record some footage, and I make like a 10-minute video of maybe something funny, or maybe I write like a review of it, or just talk about like a certain aspect of it, just for the fun of it. I sort of like that thing. I really like talking about game design a lot, so I'm thinking about maybe doing some more reviewing, or bringing up games that I think have a very, very certain aspect that's good. There's a lot of really good games that don't get enough credit, like, you know, for example, Clay made Don't Starve, and that's like their big game that everybody likes, but it's good, don't get me wrong, and it's fun to play, but they also released Mark of the Ninja and Invisible Ink, and those games are better. I mean, like, better from like a design standpoint, but they don't get enough credit. Like, Mark of the Ninja, as far as I'm concerned, is probably the premier stealth game. Um, at least one of the modern ones. You can maybe argue that some of the Thief games are better, but I think some of that's nostalgia. So I think Mark of the Ninja it's like so underrated, and I would love to make a video about it and talk more about the mechanics to make it good. Like, what about their design decisions make this good? Blah blah blah, things like that. So I'm probably gonna go into more of those videos. In terms of TF2, I don't know if I'm going to do competitive TF2 really anymore after this. I might try and do competitive Paladins instead. I might stick around a little bit for competitive TF2, but I don't know. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But TF2 stuff, I'm going to stream it. But in terms of like just YouTube exclusive content, it's largely going to be tutorials, guides, that sort of a thing. Because there are some of those for TF2, but there's also a lot of the TF2 guides are very shallow. Like, specifically, I don't know if you guys know this, but I made TF2 guides a long time ago. In fact, that's probably why many people have subscribed to me. They weren't really guides. They were not guides. I literally just put guide in the title to see how many more views they would get, and the answer is a lot, because people want guides. I think the market is there for guides. Maybe not so much anymore, because TF2 is kind of older, but I still think there's a market there, and people really want, like, a guide, and people cling to these shitty guides. People will make, like, an 8-minute guide, like, this is a spy guide. Oh my god, here, you can do a trick stab, and they spend like half the video talking about trick stabs, and it's like, trick stabs are like, you shouldn't really talk about those in a spy guide even, because it's literally, you practice them, and then you're done, right? You say, okay, here's how you do it, now go practice it. It should take a minute. You say, okay, you can jump over their head and stab them in the back. You have to practice jumping and rotating in midair, blah, blah, blah. And they never talk about stuff like, okay, when do you uncloak? You uncloak when there's noise. You uncloak blah, blah, blah. Sometimes you do really aggressive decloaks. Sometimes you do unaggressive decloaks. There's all sorts of different things you can talk about, and people never talk about them. And it's just kind of annoying. So it'd be a good thing to like talk about that stuff. So that's probably what TF2 is going to be. Similarly for Paladins, what I would like to do for Paladins is maybe go some more, maybe some guides, but I think for Paladins, it'll be more casual as well. Like sometimes making just like some funny videos or something like that. But I'm planning to make some guides for Paladins as well, and just get that going too. So a lot of the stuff on YouTube is going to be stuff like that. And like I said, on the weekends I'm probably going to keep my kind of variety hour crap I've been doing, where I just play like a really old game or a rather new game that I like, and just show it off for a bit, like I've been doing, because I really like that. But I mean, it hasn't been getting that many views, but I think it has the potential to, and I certainly like doing it a lot. Like, I think it's really fun to do. Because I want to play those. I honestly like to play those games anyway. But that's kind of what's going to happen. So in the next couple of weeks, once I like nail some stuff down, I'm going to hopefully get on an actual schedule. And like I said, I'll get back to you on exactly what that is. My stream schedule is probably not going to change that much. What I'm maybe thinking about, though, possibly, is streaming less days and streaming for longer. I'm curious what you guys think about that. Right now, I'm basically streaming every day for... by the way, I'm not going to be streaming for the next few days because... I'll put this in the description, too, but I'm having, family over and stuff. And I'm not going to have time to stream or anything, or record videos or anything. So there's not going to be anything this weekend, till next week. But... right now, we've been streaming like for 2 hours every day. I'm curious if people like that or not. Because I'm curious if people would rather instead of 7 days, 2 hours, you do like 4 days, 4 hours, or something like that. And just make it a little bit longer, because essentially what I could do is stream like 5 to 9. On 4 days. Because right now I've kind of been doing 5 to 7. I know I said 7 to 9 before, but I like 5 to 7 better. Because, I do 5 to 7, then I eat food, and then, I can do other stuff for the rest of the night. So, just let me know what you think about that if you want longer streams. I know it's going to be better for... because basically the thing is, you want to, like... it's good to stream... basically at dinner and after dinner, to my knowledge, because that, people are going to be home, basically. So, people will watch you while they eat dinner or whatever, which is helpful. and then people will watch you later at night when they're kind of just unwinding. So I don't know what you guys specifically want. I'm curious if you want longer or shorter. If I stream for 4 hours, I'm not going to be able to stream every day of the week, just because I'm going to have a job as well. I don't want to, spend 30 hours a week streaming, 40 hours in a job. That's like a lot of time. And then if I do YouTube on top, that's like easily 80 plus hours a week. Basically, I mean, like, to an extent, streaming is fun, but it's also kind of work. So I don't know. Anyway, so that's gonna kind of be just the plan. For the next couple weeks, it's still gonna be a little bit spotty what's going on. After that, I'm gonna get on a schedule, and I'm gonna finish Deus Ex. But then after that, there's not gonna be more long form content stuff until I have enough viewers that it actually makes sense to do it. But yeah, I'm just gonna start making on YouTube kind of more short videos. Expect like 15 or less minutes of like edited content or some sort. And then I'll be streaming probably around 15 hours a week. Probably going to be a lot of Paladins, some TF2, and right now I've been doing XCOM on Saturday, which I really like to do. But that's kind of the plan. So let me know if there's anything specific you guys want. I know I've done other stuff in the past, like I played some Dota and stuff, and people have mentioned they want me to play more Dota, and I'm kind of interested in it. But the issue is that people, it's a thing again where people, what you have to do is you have to get people to watch you for some reason. Okay, so usually the best way to do this is you play one game and you're like, oh, I'm the funny guy, or oh, I'm the knowledgeable guy, or something like that, or oh, I'm like the pro player, right? That's what you do. You get them in that way. So you focus on one thing, and then once they watch you long enough, they like you, right? They have to watch you long enough, and then like they build up like a like meter. It's like over time there's like a meter that fills up, and once it reaches full, they will watch anything you do. Is honestly what it feels like. Like once it reaches full, that you post something and they'll like strongly consider watching it, right? Versus like, because before that meter fills up, they're like, okay, I liked you for this one specific thing. If you stop doing that one specific thing, I'm not going to watch you, right? Like let's say I make Paladins videos, and that's like all I do, and then I get a bunch of people to watch me, and then the next week I just do TF2, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, why aren't you doing Paladins anymore? And then they stop watching you, and then they just like leave, right? But the thing is once you do it long enough, people will start to like you, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, I like this guy. Because I don't know, it's seriously just psychology. People are just weird. I think I've come to understand more and more. But basically, it's on Twitch. It's good to stick, and I mean on YouTube, you want to stick to one thing, because you get the people who like that, and they'll watch you. But what I would like to do eventually is branch out. So what I'm going to do for the immediate future is probably streaming-wise, just focus really hard on Paladins. If you don't like that, I don't know. I can't really help you. But I think there's definitely a market there. There's honestly not that many good Paladin streamers, or people who post good stuff on YouTube. So like, I would like to focus on that because I think there's definitely a market for it, and I like the game a lot. I think there's more of a market than for TF2, because TF2, like, I don't know, it's just annoying. But that's probably gonna be what the plan is. So yeah, it's probably not going to be ideal for some of you, and I realize that. And I hope you'll continue watching, but if you don't want to, that's fine. I understand. But streaming, I'm probably going to devote like probably 3/4 of it to Paladins. The rest will be some TF2 and just like another game if I feel like it, like XCOM, or I've been streaming some Path of Exile lately for fun, just for the hell of it. And then on YouTube, it's mostly going to be TF2 and Paladins, like edited videos, and of course I'll upload my streams. But that's basically going to be the gist of it, because it's just like, the more I think about it, the more just like, if you want to build an audience, you have to specialize. Like, it just doesn't work any other way. And I sort of did that. I mean, that's kind of the reason why I got even remotely popular, is because I played TF2 a lot. But I just don't think TF2 has the market anymore. for people to really watch that sort of thing. There's a lot of people that already make TF2 videos that people watch. There's not a lot of people that make Paladins videos that people watch. And I think Paladins has the potential to grow if certain conditions are met. So here's to hoping Hi-Rez doesn't fuck up another shooter like Tribes and Global Agenda. They make Global Agenda, right? Or am I mixing up the names? I think it was Global Agenda. But here's hoping Hi-Rez, third time's the charm. Please don't fuck it up. Because I want to be really pissed if I try and do a lot of Paladin shit and then they completely ruin the game. Like they did with Tribes. But anyway. So that's kind of the end of this video. Thanks for watching the update. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. Just wanted to get this out there to, kind of explain what's going to happen in the future. And also that I'm not going to be posting videos for like the next week because I'm going to have family over and shit and have to deal with that. Which is going to be very annoying because it's not going to be happy family time. I'm going to have to yell at my parents to respect my decisions and give them my reasoning yet again, and it's going to suck. But, I've dealt with worse. And worst comes to worst, I'm just like, fuck you, and I ignore them. So, hopefully it doesn't come to that, because I really hate doing that to people. But I think I'm realizing more and more that people... I've developed... I'm going to go on my center end of the video rant. You don't have to listen anymore if you don't want to listen to any more stuff. This is my rant. People only do what they want, I think I've come to realize. And want can be interpreted very broadly, and it involves a lot of different factors. But like when it comes to arguments, I want to believe that if you present a logical argument to somebody and you say, these are my reasons, I can say, okay, these are my conditions. Like, let's say leaving graduate school, right? I say, okay, these are my conditions for when I want to leave graduate school. Like, this is when I want to graduate school. Like, part of it is having fun. I want to learn. I want to have fun. I want to feel like this is advancing me professionally, right? There's a set of conditions for why you want to go to grad school or why you want to do anything, really. And I felt like those conditions that I wanted were not being met. Now, the issue where my parents and other people and I don't agree is those conditions. And it's like, when that happens, you just need to not even talk to them about it. Because if you don't agree on the baseline conditions, you cannot argue it. You just cannot. That's why, like, there's so much stupid bullshit. Like, if you don't agree about, like, my mom is like, her argument is that, okay, if you, like, she wants me to at least get a master's. She's like, okay, if you have a master's, you can get more jobs. And it's like, yeah, you can. But my thing is, number one, I don't give really a fuck about money. If I have enough money to live, I don't care. I don't need a fancy car. I don't need a fancy house. I don't need anything. I could live in an apartment for my entire life, and I'm not gonna fucking care. Like, I am so detached from money, it feels like. Like, I don't want to go out and eat. I don't ever care about going out and eat. I'd rather cook at home. I think it's more fun. I think it's a good skill to have. I don't always want to get the fanciest phone. I just want a phone that fucking works. Like, the only thing I really splurge on is my computer. That's like the only thing I splurge on. Everything else, I'll buy the cheapest shit ever, as long as it works, right? So, like, I don't need hardly any money. And so, like, the fact she's like, oh, you can get a better job at the Masters, does not appeal to me. Especially because I don't think I want to even apply to those fields when the Masters is relevant. So the only thing I would use the Masters for is in a non-relevant field to impress people who are idiots and think that having a fucking Master means that you're somehow fucking smart. And it's like, do I really want to work for somebody like that? Do I want to work for somebody that sees two resumes that are identical in every way, basically, except one person has a Master's? And it's just like, I mean, if somebody has a Master's, I would say, okay, that's interesting. But if the other person doesn't have a Master's, I'm not going to say, oh, the person with the Master's is clearly better, right? Now, it kind of sucks because with the hiring process, they have to pick sometimes, right? So it does get annoying, and, she's right that not getting a Master's is going to limit some job opportunities. But I don't fucking care at this point. I just don't want it. I don't want it. And I don't know. She doesn't get that. I don't want to invest the time to get it. I don't want to use it, and I don't want to go into any field like that really, because they're just stupid. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do, but that's hopefully what I'm going to try and figure out over the next few months, and hopefully redirect myself into something. But anyway, that's it for now. So I finished my end of the video rant. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah, leave your comments if you have any, preferences. I'm like 99% sure I'm gonna do Paladins. If you want me to do something else, you're gonna have to provide a very compelling argument, because like every other game that's popular is already saturated, and there's no really big games coming out, I don't think, that will be useful. Like, what's a game that came out? Like For Honor already has people streaming it. I fucking hate the game. I think it's a bad game. I hate Ubisoft. They are a blight on the fucking gaming industry. They're like the new EA from like a few years ago. What else? I mean, Overwatch, I don't really like, and there's already a million streamers. Dota's already a million streamers. Counter-Strike's already a million streamers. There's certainly a very large viewer base for those games, so it is possible, but I don't like them as much. I like Counter-Strike. I could play those games, but again, I want to like 100% specialize, because that every single thing points to like specializing in one game is the best way to do things. So that's probably what I'm going to focus on. So, anyway, let me know what you think. What sort of videos you want. You guys have already given me some good ideas about TF2 videos, so I'm going to try and implement those, and then work from there. But yeah, anyway, this is going on for a little bit too long because I like to ramble. I'm kind of in a rambly mood and a little pissed off because my parents are coming, and I know I'm going to have to fucking bitch at them over and over about the same things we've talked about for weeks. But, I think I've finally resolved myself that if they don't agree with me, I'm just not going to talk about it anymore and just say, fuck you. Too bad. Because it's so frustrating arguing with people, especially my mom. Oh my god. But anyway, that's gonna do it. So thanks for watching, guys. Sorry for maybe bringing you into my life a little bit too much, but I don't know. It's kind of interesting to see that sometimes. You always get all these weird views into people's lives from TV and shit that's all fake. So it's kind of interesting to hear real people talk about their lives a little bit. At least I think so. I'm kind of weird that way. I like psychology and stuff, so hearing people's explanations and rationalizations is interesting if they can provide it. The thing is, most people can't actually provide that because they don't understand why they do anything. They never think about it. It really makes me think of Socrates when he said, it actually might have been in a work by Plato, but he was a character in it at the very least. But Socrates in some work, I think it was something by Plato, but Socrates in the work at least says, I think he actually also believed this in real life too, like the actual historical figure, was that it's like a shame for, it should be a prerequisite that every person should concern themselves with philosophy. And I think that's something that really should happen, because it's very odd to me that there's no philosophy courses in high school, really. I mean, there might be electives and stuff, but you expect people to do math, you expect people to do English. But English, all you do is you read fictional works, you read Huckleberry Finn and shit like that, Red Letter, all that stuff. But you never read a philosophy book. And I don't understand that they're a little complicated sometimes, but there's a lot of them. Ancient Greek philosophy, the ancient philosophies, particular before things got super complex, are fairly easy to read. Understanding Aristotle is something that I think your average high school student certainly can do. He's not that hard to understand. He has the philosophy of means and stuff. The golden mean, all that jazz. Interesting things about what exactly is friendship, things like that. It covers a lot of stuff, and it's interesting to read, even if like a lot of it's honestly antiquated. It provides you a framework, a new way to think about things. It's just odd to me that people don't think about that. But anyway, I am rambling far too fucking long. I am cutting it off. Fuck myself. If you guys watched this long, you're probably one of my more dedicated subscribers, so I thank you very much for that. And just know that once I nail stuff down in the next couple weeks, I'm going to actually get on a for real schedule and start really cranking stuff out for the foreseeable future. So that's going to do it. I have to go and clean some shit real quick, so I'm going to do that. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in a few days once all my family stuff is done and I can actually start recording again. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you then.